It's Wednesday, March 28th. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. The government says it has begun the process to revoke the license issued to telecommunications company Symbiote Investments, which trades as Carrousel. The confirmation was given in the House of Representatives yesterday afternoon by Technology Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley in response to questions from opposition spokesperson on technology, Julian Robinson.
The last bit of public information was that the company took out an injunction to prevent that. Can you indicate what the current status of those licenses are? Is Carrousel operating as normal? Have the licenses been revoked? Has there been a stay? I'd like an update in that regard.
That we have started the process of revocation of the license. I have written to the principals of Symbiote indicating that I am in receipt of a recommendation from the OUR, and as such, I am proceeding with the revocation.
Addressing the minister, Mr. Robinson requested an indication of the conditions with which Symbiote did not comply, leading to its license being revoked. In his response, Dr. Wheatley said he did not have on hand all the conditions, but there was a matter of outstanding fees. Contractor General Dirk Harrison earlier this year said recent reports of the sale of Carrousel to the South African firm had left him concerned about the manner in which it was done. He said there are questions concerning whether there were breaches of the Telecommunications Act. Jamaica AIDS Support for Life wants the Data Protection Act to make provisions to collect information on an individual's sexual orientation and behavior, as well as sexual activities and attractions. Speaking at Tuesday's Joint Select Committee of Parliament, which is reviewing the Data Protection Act, Advocacy Officer Patrick Layla said the Data Protection Act names sex life, but wants that to be clearly defined and to cover a person's sexual activity and sexual attractions as a whole, to include their sexual orientation and sexual behavior. The group made the suggestion on Tuesday in its submission.
Why is this important? The Data Protection Act of Trinidad and Tobago 2011 can be instructive in this regard, as it explicitly under the similar section where it speaks to sensitive data, does not just list sex life broadly, but it's listed as sexual orientation or sex life in the Trinidad and Tobago legislation. While the bill recognizes doctor-patient confidentiality and contractual obligations that may require that certain data be kept confidential, it provides for the commissioner, created by Section 4 of the legislation, to examine the grounds on which the data controller refuses to provide the data and make a determination whether the grounds for refusal is sufficient.
The human rights organization, which has its clients, many of Jamaica's vulnerable sexual groups, made 5 recommendations to the committee. Among them, a deliberate effort in the wording of the Act to protect people's health information, sexual orientation, and HIV status. The data law is a companion legislation to the National Identification System Bill. The Press Association of Jamaica has taken note that the press was not allowed to cover the swearing-in of the new cabinet ministers at King's House yesterday. The PAJ, in a release, reminded Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the government that these are national occasions which the media should be allowed to cover, and not to be regulated to getting pool photographs from the government's information service. The PAJ argues that governments need to demonstrate openness, transparency, and commitment to free and open coverage of the press, not just when it's convenient to them, but as a matter of principle. The by-election to determine who will represent the Yalas division in the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation will be held on April 27. The announcement was made at an emergency meeting at the Ministry of Local Government by the Mayor of Morant Bay, Lenworth Rawle, yesterday. The JLP's Dean Jones had won the division in the November 2016 local government elections, but A by-election became necessary after the Supreme Court voided Jones's election. The judgment was handed down by Chief Justice Brian Sykes on Tuesday. In his ruling, Chief Justice Sykes indicated that a by-election should be held at the earliest possible time. Traffic changes are coming to both the Mandela Highway and Barbican Main Road in order to accommodate continued work on both surfaces. In a statement issued Monday afternoon, the National Works Agency said traffic traveling towards Kingston along the Mandela Highway has been switched to a new section of the roadway between Highway 2000 East-West off-ramp and the Tom Kringle Drive. The NWA says the new section of the roadway is accommodating 2 lanes of traffic. The agency also says the old eastbound road, which borders the Ferry Police Station and the Heidel group of schools, is now being operated as a 2-way corridor. The NWA says this is to facilitate the completion of work on the eastbound carriageway in the vicinity of Ferry Police Station, which is to be widened and an off-ramp built. These works are to be completed by Sunday, April 1. The NWA also says access to Barbican Square will be restricted for motorists traveling along Barbican Road from the direction of Ligony, as well as those traveling from Jacks Hill Road. The changes were set to take effect at 10 a.m. this morning, and this will facilitate the paving of a section of Barbican Road between the Jacks Hill Road intersection and the Wigan Loop. The works are expected to be completed by 5 p.m. on Friday. The University of the West Indies, UWI, has launched a quality policy which is designed to assure its stakeholders of the high quality of its academic and non-academic outputs. The launch of the policy was held at the UWI's regional headquarters in St. Andrew on Monday. The policy encompasses values indicating fitness and for purpose, value for money, adherence to high standards, service excellence, and transformative development of students and staff. Referring to the UWI Strategic Plan 2017-2020, the Vice-Chancellor, Sir Hilary Beckles, said the quality policy was key to achieving the AAA strategy: access, alignment, and agility, which is the core of the plan. In regional news, 2 members of the management staff of the Antigua national football team were arrested at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston after 3.6 pounds of ganja was found in a checked luggage on Monday. Reports from the police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, are that about 2 p.m., detectives from the Narcotics Division arrested the 2 after the football team and support management staff checked in to board a flight, and the ganja was detected in one of their checked luggage during X-ray examinations. Subsequently, their bags were searched in their presence and a false compartment found in a bag containing a backpack with 2 regular packages containing ganja, amounting to 3.6 pounds. In sports, sprinter Simone Facey has quit the Jamaican Commonwealth Games team just days before most of the track and field contingent is set to depart for the Gold Coast in Australia. Facey was part of Jamaica's team to the World Athletics Championships in London last year and was set to be a mainstay in the team at these games. The 32-year-old announced on her Facebook page that she would not be going to the games based on the difficulty she had with travel arrangements that were made on her behalf. She posted on her social media page, quote, "I have withdrawn from the Commonwealth Games. I wasn't comfortable with the travel arrangements that I received. It would have taken me almost 40 hours to reach Australia. Very disappointed and heartbroken. I wish Team Jamaica all the best," end quote. Facey ran the 100 meters, 200 meters, and was a member of the 4x100 meters relay team that won silver in London. Efforts to contact the Jamaica Athletics Administration Association for a comment on the situation did not work out at press time. And that's the news. Do stay with us. The weather report is next. is PBCJ's weather report. Thanks so much for staying with us. Let's start with our local currents. In Kingston this afternoon, the temperature is just about 29 degrees Celsius, up from 24 degrees Celsius this morning. We're seeing a forecast of possible showers this evening, so ensure that you plan accordingly. Over there in Montego Bay, St. James, we're seeing that the sun came up at 5:50 a.m. this morning. Temperatures between 23 and 27 degrees Celsius forecast for the day. We're also seeing a forecast of possible showers this evening, and the temperature at just about 6 degrees Celsius for certain areas. Across the island today, we can expect cloudy conditions in most parishes, possible rainfall for Negril and over there in Golden Grove, St. Thomas. We're also looking at temperatures between 27 and 31 degrees Celsius. In our forecast for tomorrow, we're seeing temperatures between 26 and 30 degrees Celsius. We're also seeing a possibility of island-wide rainfall. In our forecast for tomorrow, we're looking at the Caribbean region. We're seeing temperatures between 25 and 33 degrees Celsius. We're seeing cloudy conditions in certain areas, especially in the central parts of the Caribbean, and the possibility of rainfall in the eastern end of the Caribbean. Further afield, we'll look at the United States for our travel planner tomorrow. Those of you traveling to Los Angeles, have fun. We're seeing sunny skies forecast for Los Angeles and temperatures between 12 and 20 degrees Celsius. We're also seeing a possibility of rainfall for Miami, although it should still be warm in certain areas. We're seeing a high 24 degrees Celsius. Cloudy conditions and a bit of sunshine is forecast for New York. And that's it for the weather forecast. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Pleasant viewing.